When you tell others about your problems and feelings, this information can sometimes be used to hurt you. This happens because people sometimes enjoy seeing others suffer or making their pain worse. While this behavior doesn't always happen, it can occur in various areas of your life, such as at work, with friends, or even within your family. If this is your first time seeing my channel, please subscribe and like the video. This way, I'll be able to create more videos like this in the future. Learning to protect your feelings can be very beneficial. Imagine you are a tree in a storm. The leaves are moving and the branches are shaking in the wind, but the trunk of the tree is still firm and solid, clinging to the ground. This is what we want to teach you. How to be strong and resilient even when you face problems. Every problem you face is an opportunity to become stronger, like the tree that moves in the storm but doesn't fall. It's not about ignoring problems, but about choosing not to let them affect you. Learning this will make you stronger and more stable, even when everything seems to be in chaos. Principle number 1. Stop worrying about what is beyond your control. Imagine you have a toolbox where you keep your opinions. You are the only one who decides what goes into that box and how you use those tools. You can build many beautiful things with it, but you can never control what others think of your work. Your reputation is like a plant in the garden of life. It grows over time, but you can't force it to grow faster or bloom the way you want. The same goes for the things you desire and the accomplishments you hope to achieve. You may want a big house, a big job, or a lot of money, but ultimately you can't always control how quickly these things enter your life. Worrying about something you can't control is like trying to stop the rain with your hands. No matter how hard you try, you can't change the weather. According to Epictetus, the true secret to happiness is to focus on what you can change and let go of what you can't control. Imagine you're sailing a boat. You can decide how to set the sails and how to operate the rudder, but you can't change the wind. If you focus on correcting the boat's course and stay calm while the wind blows, you'll arrive at your destination happier. This is how we should manage our lives, by making the most of what we have and letting fate take care of the rest. Principle number 2. Always expect the worst. Anxiety is like a shadow that never goes away, always there, whispering that something bad is about to happen. Imagine walking down a dark path, and every rustle of branches or shadow you see makes you believe something terrible is about to happen. You worry about everything that could go wrong in the future, that someone you love will disappoint you, that you might have money problems, or that some other unexpected setback will catch you off guard. This constant ruminating can leave you feeling tired and stressed, like you're carrying a heavy backpack full of rocks. With his practical and straightforward perspective, Epicurus challenges us to look at our fears differently. Instead of dwelling on everything that could go wrong, he encourages us to consider something surprising. What if the worst we fear has already happened? For example, imagine you're in a video game and facing a very difficult boss. Epicurus would tell us that instead of continuing to dread the next challenge, we should imagine that we've already defeated the final boss and the challenge is behind us. This way of thinking may seem strange at first, but it helps you realize that you've already endured difficult situations and learned how to handle them. By adopting this perspective, you'll become stronger and more capable of handling whatever the future throws at you. It's like preparing for a storm, but instead of just worrying about the bad weather, you'll focus on building a solid shelter and being prepared for any change. This shift in your perspective on your fears will help you develop greater mental resilience, allowing you to face the future with more calm and confidence. In this way, every challenge you face becomes an opportunity to strengthen your mind and be even better prepared for what lies ahead. Principle number 3. Take responsibility for your actions. It's funny how we immediately turn away when someone sneezes near us, as if running away from a potential virus. We are very careful to avoid germs that can make us sick, but sometimes we don't pay as much attention to something that can also be very harmful to us, the people around us. Epicurus, a wise man of antiquity, gave us valuable advice on how to deal with this problem. He suggested that we surround ourselves with people who inspire us to be our best selves. Imagine you are in a garden full of flowers. Some flowers are vibrant and colorful, and their presence brightens your day. Others, however, are wilted and sad and can make the garden seem less pleasant. The people in our lives are like these flowers. Some fill us with positive energy, while others can drain our joy and make us feel bad. The people around us have a huge impact on how we feel. There are people who can drain our energy and ruin our mood with their negative attitude and constant complaining. On the other hand, there are people who lift our spirits, make us laugh, and inspire us to keep going. Choosing who we surround ourselves with carefully is one of the wisest decisions we can make. When we surround ourselves with people who make us feel good, we surround ourselves with positive vibes that help us grow and make us happy. Conversely, pushing away those who make us feel bad is like pulling the weeds out of the garden to allow the beautiful flowers to bloom freely. So the next time you find yourself in a situation where your energy is being affected, think of Epicurus and the garden of your life. Choose to surround yourself with people who inspire you to be better and who bring light and joy into your world. In doing so, you will create a healthier and happier environment. Principle number 4. Always remember that death awaits at the end of the road. This advice isn't meant to make us sad or hopeless, but rather to make us reflect on something very important. Life has an end. Death is something we all face, no matter what we do. Imagine you're playing a board game where you know it will eventually end. When you realize that time is limited, it's as if you're encouraged to make the most of each turn, rather than just collecting chips or points without truly enjoying the game. When we understand that our lives have a limit, we begin to appreciate the time we have more. It's like looking at an hourglass, where each grain of sand that falls reminds us that time is precious and can't be retrieved, and makes us think about what's really important. This makes us think about what's really important. Is it worth spending years accumulating things that we can't take with us when the game's over? Big houses, fancy cars, and jewelry may seem important, but ultimately all that matters are the experiences we have and the people we share those moments with. This perspective helps us focus our time on what truly matters, meaningful experiences and relationships with others. It's as if we're creating a memory album full of happy moments and deep connections, rather than just filling a closet with things that will eventually be forgotten. Living with this perspective encourages us to be more authentic and to fully enjoy and appreciate every moment of our lives, which makes each day truly special. By following these principles, we can learn to live with a deeper sense of gratitude and fulfillment, cherishing every moment and creating memories that truly matter. Principle number 5. Friendship is more important than wealth. True wealth isn't measured in coins or expensive objects, but in the quality of the true friends we have by our side. Imagine having a treasure chest, but instead of jewelry or gold bars, it's filled with shared moments, laughter, and genuine support. These true friends are like an umbrella on a rainy day. They protect you when things get tough and are there for you no matter what. In our race for success and the accumulation of material goods, we often forget the value of true friendships. We're obsessed with getting the latest fad, the newest car, or the biggest house, and sometimes we don't make time for the people who truly matter to us. True friends aren't just there when things are going well. They're with you when money runs out, when you're struggling, or when you simply need someone to listen. They're like a bright light in the darkness, guiding you and giving you strength when you need it most. Nurturing genuine friendships is like planting a garden that grows and flourishes over time. Nurturing these relationships, sharing moments with others, and supporting them creates a rich web of understanding and camaraderie that no material wealth can match. These bonds of friendship offer you a safe haven in stormy times, a place you can always return to without feeling judged. So instead of focusing solely on accumulating possessions and accomplishments, dedicate time to building and nurturing these genuine connections. This way, you're investing in a wealth that won't fade over time or be lost in the fluctuations of fortune. The true treasure we carry with us are the memories and relationships we've cultivated, which remain strong and lasting, no matter what happens to the rest. Principle number 6. Don't cling to a single hope. As humans, we have the wonderful ability to dream and set different goals for ourselves in life. Imagine you're at a large fireworks festival. If you focus only on one show, you might be disappointed if it doesn't go as expected. But if you give yourself the opportunity to enjoy several shows, you're much more likely to find something that surprises and delights you. Epicurus gives us wise advice for dealing with our dreams and hopes. Instead of pinning all our hopes on a single goal, he suggests we diversify our goals. Think of it like planting a garden. Instead of planting just one type of flower, plant many different varieties. Even if one flower doesn't thrive as well as you hoped, others can bloom and enhance your garden. By pursuing multiple goals, we create more opportunities for success. Each goal is like another door you can open. When one door closes, others open, allowing you to move forward. This not only gives us more flexibility to adapt to unexpected changes, but also helps us find fulfillment in different areas of life. When we take different paths, it's also easier for us to find joy in the small successes and the different stages of our journey. Like a map full of interesting routes, each of our goals can lead to new experiences and discoveries. So instead of feeling overwhelmed by the possibility of failing at one goal, we can enjoy the adventure of pursuing many dreams and find satisfaction in every step we take. Principle number 7. Be aware of the dangers of wealth. The desire to become rich is something many people dream of. Imagine that money is like a powerful magnet that attracts our attention. We all want that magic that promises a better life, but we often don't consider the risks involved. It's not just that people approach us when they see we're doing well and try to befriend our wealth instead of us. When we receive money, something much more profound happens. It can change us in ways that aren't always positive. Imagine money like a magnifying glass that magnifies our qualities and weaknesses. If you have a magnifying glass and focus on something good, like a beautiful flower, you will see every detail of its beauty. However, if you focus on something negative, like a crack in a wall, it too will become larger and more noticeable. Thus, money can amplify our virtues, but it can also magnify our faults and weaknesses. When we acquire wealth, we are sometimes also faced with the possibility that our values and principles may be compromised. The power of money can be so great that it begins to change the way we see the world and our priorities. Imagine you are a traveler on a ship. If the ship is laden with treasure, it can easily capsize if you are not careful to maintain balance. Likewise, wealth can distract our attention from the truly important things in life and change our priorities. That's why it's important to remember that while money offers many opportunities, it can also bring challenges. We need to be aware of how it can influence our lifestyles and our choices and ensure we stick to our values and don't allow wealth to change us in ways we don't want. Principle number 8. Don't hate those who hate you, just ignore them. Imagine you're standing on a big stage and there are people in the audience criticizing your every move. It can be tempting to pay attention to them and let their words influence you. But here's the trick. You are much bigger and more valuable than these critics. Consider yourself a performer in a big show, and these people are just spectators in the background who don't understand or appreciate your true talent. It's not worth wasting time and energy hating those who criticize or belittle you. It's like someone trying to throw stones at your head while you're building a sandcastle at the beach. Why let those stones stop you when you can build something beautiful? These people don't even deserve to be in your thoughts. Their words are like small grains of sand, quickly blown away by the wind while you're busy creating something big and meaningful. We're encouraged not to be afraid of people who try to harm us with their words or actions. These criticisms and attacks are merely desperate attempts to make you feel guilty. Consider them background noise, like the sound of an alarm going off in the distance. Instead of letting it bother you, you can learn to ignore it and move on. Over time, you'll become immune to these sounds, as if you were wearing headphones that filter out all the negative noise and allow you to focus on what's truly important. Remember that you have the power to decide who you give your attention to and who you don't. By focusing on your own goals and the things that make you happy, you will become stronger and more resilient to criticism. Keep moving forward, build your sandcastle with confidence, and let the negative voices fade in the wind. If you're following the content, consider becoming a member of the channel. In addition to supporting the channel, you'll also receive exclusive content, Click the link in the description and become a member now. Back to content. Principle number 9. Be prepared to fail, because that is the only way we can progress in our pursuit of success and achievement. We often try to avoid failure at all costs. Imagine you're playing a video game, and every time you make a mistake, the game punishes you with a massive game over. Instead of continuing to play, many of us would rather not even try to avoid that game over. But according to Epicurus, failure isn't a terrible obstacle, but an incredible opportunity to grow and improve. Instead of viewing failure as something terrible, we should view it as a valuable learning tool. It's like trying to ride a bike for the first time. In the beginning, you'll probably fall several times, but with every fall you learn something new: how to keep your balance, how to turn better, how to use the brakes. Every mistake helps you improve until you can finally ride with confidence. Epicurus challenges us to change the way we view failure. Instead of fearing being judged or considered foolish when we make mistakes, we should embrace these moments as an essential part of our journey to success. Instead of thinking that success is something that happens suddenly, like a great revelation, we should understand it as an ongoing learning process. Every mistake is like a clue on a treasure map, helping us find the right path. Viewing failure in this way helps us move forward. Every time we face a challenge and learn from our mistakes, we refine our skills, like a sculptor working on a statue. We overcome obstacles and move closer to our goals, both at work and in our personal lives. The process of trial and error thus becomes a natural and valuable part of our growth. So instead of fearing mistakes, we should see them as an opportunity to learn, improve, and move closer to our dreams. With every mistake, we become stronger and wiser, moving ever closer to our most successful and realized version. Principle number 10. Bring humility into your life. Imagine you are in a vast library full of books. Some are filled with ancient wisdom, others with modern discoveries. Now imagine you are an explorer searching for hidden treasures within those books. To find the most precious treasures, you must adopt an open and curious mindset, like a child discovering the world for the first time. Epicurus gives us important advice. If you truly want to learn something new, you must first recognize what you think you already know. It's like building a house with bricks. If you think you already have all the bricks and don't check that they're in place, your house could be crooked and crumbling. Likewise, if we cling to the pride of what we think we already know, we miss the opportunity to build a solid foundation of true knowledge. Humility is like a magic key that opens doors to new ideas and perspectives. When we recognize that we don't know everything, we open ourselves to learning from others and exploring new ways of thinking. It's like an adventurer carrying a light backpack. When we're not lugging the heavy burden of ego, we're ready to gain new experiences and insights along the way. Furthermore, humility in our pursuit of knowledge also strengthens our relationships with others. We become more empathetic and understanding, able to listen to and value the opinions and experiences of others. This openness creates a space where ideas can flow freely and human relationships become deeper and more authentic. So the next time you face a new challenge or want to learn something new, remember to adopt the attitude of a curious child. Let go of your pride and open your mind to the possibility that there is still so much to discover. With this attitude, you will not only enrich your knowledge, but also strengthen your relationships with those around you, creating an environment where you are constantly learning and growing. But there's also a downside. If you've been trying to break free from conformism and ignorance for a long time and you're completely unsuccessful, it might be due to other reasons you don't know what's triggering in you. But I know what it is. Fear. Fear comes like a silent cobra and poisons you without you noticing. It leaves you infected for days, months, and even years. And when you have it, it's like living with it. However, there's an antidote from stomach medicine that, along with modern psychology, can free you from all of this, just as it freed me. I made a video showing how to get rid of this poison in your life. It's in the first comment. Click the link in the first comment and heal yourself of this poison of fear. Principle number 11. True wealth lies in a contented mind. Imagine you're in a huge, shiny toy store full of wonderful things you'd love to have. Some toys are new, shiny, and expensive, and you look at them longingly, wishing you could own them. However, Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, urges us to think differently. Instead of focusing on the toys we don't yet have, he encourages us to appreciate and enjoy the ones we already have. Epictetus used to say, "A wise man is one who doesn't worry about what he doesn't have, but rejoices in what he does have." Imagine this as if you have a trunk full of treasures. Every time you focus on the things you lack, it's as if you're ignoring the precious contents of your boot. Instead of lamenting the treasures you don't have, open the trunk and admire the jewels you've already accumulated. When we spend our time complaining about what we haven't accomplished, we miss the opportunity to enjoy what we have accomplished. It's like being at an amusement park, but instead of enjoying the rides and the fun, you spend your time wishing you had tickets for more rides. This way, you miss the opportunity to enjoy the park and revel in what you already have. True wealth is not measured by the quantity of things we own, but by our ability to be content with what we already have. A wealthy person is essentially someone who finds joy in what they have already achieved and what they possess, rather than constantly longing for what they lack. Thus, when we learn to appreciate and enjoy our current possessions, we discover a source of lasting and profound happiness. So the next time you find yourself wishing for more than you have, remember to open the trunk of your accomplishments and treasures. Rejoice in what you've already accomplished and savor every moment of happiness that's already within your grasp. This way, you'll discover that true wealth lies in being able to be content with what you have now, rather than always waiting for what you haven't yet achieved. Principle number 12. Guilt is synonymous with the plague. Imagine you're on a battlefield, facing not a real enemy, but an invisible monster called guilt. People who are narrow-minded and negative see this monster as something they must fight by shooting arrows of blame at others. They think they can get rid of the monster by blaming someone else. In reality, however, they are shifting the blame onto others and not dealing with the problem itself. Then there are the normal people who, instead of blaming others, look inside themselves and feel that the monster of guilt only affects them. They tell themselves that everything bad that happens is their fault, thus carrying a heavy burden that doesn't contribute to solving the problem. This kind of attitude can be overwhelming and doesn't lead to any real solution. Now imagine you are a wise warrior on this battlefield. Instead of trying to defeat the monster of guilt with arrows or shields, you recognize that this monster is an illusion, a distraction. The wise, Epicurus teaches us, view guilt as nonsense, as something not worthy of our energy or our time. Instead of fighting an invisible enemy, the wise man chooses not to play the blame game at all. Today, therapists encourage us to let go of guilt because they know it only holds us back. When we hold on to guilt, we avoid facing reality and solving problems. It's as if we're playing a game we never win, because the goal of guilt is to make us feel bad without offering us a real solution. Overcoming feelings of guilt isn't easy. It's like learning to swim in a stormy river without being swept away by the current. The temptation to blame others or ourselves is great, but only those who are determined to courageously face reality can let go of this monster of guilt. By taking responsibility for our actions and seeking solutions, instead of taking refuge in blame, we move toward a freer and more fulfilling life. So, the next time the guilt monster tries to trap you, remember that it's nothing more than an illusion. Instead of fighting it, take responsibility and look for solutions. This way, you'll free yourself from the guilt trap and move closer to a more authentic and fulfilling life. Principle number 13. Always do your duty. Imagine you're in a large orchestra, and each instrument has its role to play. The cello, the piano, the trumpet, they all play in harmony to create a wonderful symphony. Every musician knows that their instrument is essential to making the music sound complete and beautiful. They don't expect to be thanked or praised every time they play a note. They simply do their part because they know it's essential to the success of the concert. This is how the world works. The sun, for example, doesn't need us to give it a prize or tell it how wonderful it is to rise every morning. It rises, shines, and gives life to the earth without asking for anything in return. His work is his task, and he fulfills it every day with dedication and regularity. Similarly, each of us has a role in life and in society. Each of us has responsibilities and tasks that must be fulfilled for the world to function smoothly. When we wait for a pat on the back, or to be told how well we're doing before we act, we lose sight of the true purpose of our actions. Consider, for example, the gardener who tends a beautiful garden. He does this not to receive praise, but because he knows that the plants need attention and care to thrive. His satisfaction comes from seeing the garden grow and flourish, not from the applause. If we know our task and know that others depend on it, we must fulfill it responsibly. We shouldn't wait for someone to remind us or award us a medal for it. Our commitment to our responsibility must arise from our conscience and our duty, not from the pursuit of recognition. So the next time you face a task or responsibility, think of the sun, the orchestra, or the gardener. Do your part with dedication and without expectation of external rewards. In this way, you will contribute to the great concert of life and ensure that everything functions in harmony for the benefit of all. Principle number 14. Listen twice as much as you speak. Imagine you're standing in a kitchen full of fresh and delicious ingredients. You have two hands, so you could prepare the food with one and taste it with the other. But instead of just cooking, focus on watching and listening to the chefs and people around you. You'll notice that everyone has a special recipe and a unique trick for making the food amazing. This is what Epicurus is trying to convey with his idea of having 2 ears and 1 mouth. He's telling us that we should use our ears more for listening and our mouths less for speaking. Imagine that instead of tasting every dish, you watch others prepare them and listen to their stories behind each recipe. You'll find that you learn so much more by listening to the advice and experiences of others. When we actively listen, it's as if we absorb wisdom and knowledge that enrich our own lives. Instead of endlessly discussing our own recipes, we take the time to learn from those who have cooked before us. This gives us a broader and deeper perspective on the world that we couldn't gain through our own experiences alone. For our daily lives, this means opening our ears and hearts to the stories, experiences, and knowledge of the people around us. It's not just about waiting our turn to speak, but about listening with genuine attention and curiosity. In doing so, we can not only better understand others, but also discover new ways to grow and move forward. Epictetus encourages us to listen more with our 2 ears and speak less with our 1 mouth. In doing so, we create space for richer and more meaningful dialogue and learn to see the world with greater understanding. This approach helps us grow and enrich our lives through the experiences and insights of those around us. Principle 15. When you allow the comments and attitudes of others to bother you, you are giving up control of your life. Imagine you have a treasure chest with many keys. Each key opens a different door within you. Some keys lead to spaces filled with light, happiness, and peace, while others open doors to dark and chaotic places where anger and discontent reign. Now think of someone who makes you angry, such as a friend who constantly interrupts you, or a colleague who doesn't do their part of the work. By making you angry, this person has the ability to use one of these dark keys to open the door to your discomfort. Essentially, they have control over some of your happiness because you gave them this key. Epicurus teaches us that, in reality, it is we who have the power to decide which keys we use. No one can open the doors that lead to our anger and frustration unless we allow them to. So when someone angers you, remember that how you react is up to you. When you give someone the key to open the door of anger, they become a kind of master of your emotional state. To avoid this, we can imagine ourselves building a barrier or shield around ourselves, a shield that protects us from the attitudes and words of others. This shield is not a wall that prevents contact, but a layer of resilience that allows you to remain calm and happy, no matter what is happening around you. So the next time someone tries to use the dark key to open the door of your anger, remember that you have the power not to give up the key. You can choose to keep the door locked and continue choosing the keys that open the rooms full of light and joy within you. This way, you ensure that no one else has control over your happiness, because you are the only one who holds the keys to your own emotional treasure chest. Principle number 16. Strive for simplicity. Imagine you're in a huge house full of luxurious furniture, extravagant decorations, and a large collection of expensive items. The house is impressive, but it also comes with a great deal of responsibility. Every day, you have to take care of keeping everything in perfect condition. You have to hire people to clean, repair, and maintain all of these things. Plus, you're constantly worrying about the bills and expenses associated with such a large and luxurious home. Now imagine you decide to move into a much smaller and simpler home. This home doesn't have as many bells and whistles or expensive furniture, but it's comfortable and cozy. Here, you don't have to worry as much about cleaning or high expenses. You don't have to keep track of so many bills or worry about paying off your credit cards. Living in a small house is quieter and less stressful. You can enjoy the simple things and have time for what really matters: your friends, family, and hobbies. You're not trapped in a constant cycle of worry and debt. Epicurus, the ancient philosopher, tells us that a frugal or simple life has its own benefits. When we choose a simple lifestyle, we free ourselves from the many constraints and complications that come with luxury. Instead of spending our energy trying to live a life full of things, we can focus on the things that truly make us happy. Instead of allowing ourselves to be controlled by luxury and expensive things, we can choose a simpler and freer life. This doesn't mean we can't enjoy life's pleasures, but rather that we can do so without the stresses and worries that come with an overly luxurious lifestyle. In this way, we find more peace and happiness in what we already have and in the simple experiences life offers us. Principle number 17. Never forget that your reactions determine your destiny. Imagine you're in a meadow of flowers, enjoying a sunny day. Suddenly, an unexpected thunderstorm rolls in. Raindrops soak your clothes and the wind blows fiercely. It's easy to get frustrated and wish the sun would return. However, there's something important to remember. You can't control the weather, but you can decide how you respond to the storm. Epicurus reminds us that while we can't choose what happens in our lives, we can always decide how we respond to it. When the storm comes and you feel sad and depressed, that's a choice you can avoid. Instead of focusing on the rain and the bad weather, you can seek shelter under a tree. Enjoy the raindrops and learn to dance in the rain. It's your choice how you deal with the challenges life throws at you. Consider, for example, someone going through a difficult situation like a divorce. Some people may be overwhelmed by sadness and the feeling of being a victim of circumstance. However, Epicurus encourages us to see these difficult moments as an opportunity to get to know ourselves better. Instead of letting the pain consume us, we can use this experience to learn about ourselves, grow, and discover new paths forward. Your life is determined not only by what happens to you, but also by how you deal with it. Every challenge is an opportunity to demonstrate your strength and resilience. Instead of letting the weight of problems weigh you down, remember that you have the power to decide how you deal with each situation. Every response you choose can be the first step toward a new level of growth and self-knowledge. Principle number 18. Always make the best of things no matter what happens. Epicurus leaves us with a powerful message. Everything depends on you. It's not just about having the opportunity to find something good in the midst of adversity, but also about seeing it as your mission to do so. Life is full of surprises and challenges, but each of them holds a lesson or an opportunity, if we know where to look. Imagine arriving at work one day and receiving news that you're about to be fired. This may seem like the worst possible scenario. The sadness and frustration can be overwhelming, and it's easy to fall into the trap of believing the world is conspiring against you. However, this is where the wisdom of Epicurus comes into play. Not only do you have the opportunity to look at things positively, but it's your duty to do so. Instead of sinking into despair, think about what you really want to do. Perhaps you've always dreamed of starting your own business, but never had the time or courage to do it. Now, with the free time you'll have, you could embark on the adventure you've always envisioned. Perhaps this unexpected layoff is the door you needed to follow your true passions and work on something that truly excites you. This approach of always looking on the bright side can prove incredibly valuable throughout your life. Every challenge, no matter how difficult, is an opportunity to learn and grow. The Stoic principles embodied by Epicurus teach us that there is no room for fantasy or endless complaining. Instead, they challenge us to apply what we have learned and move forward with determination and resilience. So the next time you face adversity, remember that you have the power to decide how you respond. Seize the opportunity to find something positive and turn the challenge into a stepping stone to something better. Life is all about how you handle difficulties and how you turn every obstacle into an opportunity to move forward. If you enjoyed our video, please like, subscribe, and comment, so YouTube knows that these types of videos help people like you, and we can continue to create more videos like this in the future.